is Taufik Abijago, and my clothing line is called Head of State.
When we approached to do the fashion show, I was like, oh, let's do a presentation instead, which I feel like capture every single thing. Not just New York City as it stands for, but what Head of State also stands for. I did a tour of the venue and just got a feel for the space itself, and right away like I ideated this idea of like, what does it feel like when the players leave the field and the first place they go into is the locker room, and that's where all the emotions are expressed, whether they lose, whether they win. I love the idea of like the models acting as like the players and stuff, like coming in, and we redesigned the set to look like a vintage soccer like locker room. That right away informed what the design direction would look like, and then I was able to come back to the team and came up with the idea of like, okay, how do we balance the kit with what it is we do at Head of State. I grew up with, soccer. It's like one of the things where like I'm frankly like obsessed with, like so there was already that excitement when it comes to anything like soccer related, and then it even got more exciting when it became about New York soccer, because obviously like I live in New York, I work in New York. I would say even though I'm originally Nigerian, I'm just as a New Yorker as like any other New Yorker. I grew up in Lagos, which it's a cultural melting pot in West Africa. So my neighbors spoke a completely different language as I did, but we all spoke Pidgin, which is like the language we figure out to communicate with each other with. And I do think that same way of thinking applies in design. Okay, what are the things that tie these narratives together, and then that becomes sort of like the drive for us figuring out what it is we're trying to say. I've been obsessed with ideas of uniform because I feel like there's a level of like social commentary attached to uniform itself. A uniform for a team, which one of the newest franchise in the MLS. We want the audiences feel like this excitement New York City FC is like, bringing into New York.